Have you ever felt like you're being watched? Not just a fleeting glance, but a persistent, prickling sensation on the back of your neck? That's how it started for me, a month ago, in this very apartment. It was just a feeling, a phantom chill in the air that I'd dismiss as a draft or an overactive imagination. I'd laugh it off, telling myself I'd been watching too many horror movies. But the feeling didn't go away. It grew, like a mold in the dark, unseen but ever present. It began with small things. My keys wouldn't be where I left them. The TV would be on a different channel than the one I was watching before I fell asleep. I told myself I was just being forgetful, stressed from work. My friends said the same. "You need a vacation, Alex," they'd say. But how do you take a vacation from your own mind? Or from your own home? Then came the noises. A soft scratching from inside the walls at night. It sounded like a mouse at first. I bought traps, but they were always empty in the morning. The cheese untouched. The scratching got louder, more rhythmic, almost deliberate. Sometimes I'd hear a faint whisper like a sigh just as I was drifting off to sleep. I'd snap awake, heart hammering against my ribs, but the room would be silent, bathed in the cold, indifferent glow of the streetlights outside. I started documenting everything. I set up my phone to record the audio at night. The first few nights, there was nothing but the usual city symphony, distant sirens, the hum of the refrigerator. But on the fourth night, I caught it. Buried deep in the static, a sound. It was a voice, a low, guttural whisper. It was only one word, but it froze the blood in my veins. It said my name. Alex. I played it over and over, my hands shaking. It wasn't my voice, it wasn't a sound from the street, it was in the room with me. That's when I knew I wasn't just stressed or tired. Something was here. The physical manifestations escalated. I'd wake up with long, thin scratches on my arms, red welts that burned under the hot water of the shower. I'd find objects in my apartment moved, not just misplaced, but arranged. One morning, all my kitchen knives were laid out on the counter from smallest to largest, their blades gleaming under the fluorescent light. Another time, I came home to find every single photo frame in my apartment turned to face the wall. My friends stopped visiting. They'd make excuses. They said my place had a weird vibe, that they felt uneasy. I couldn't blame them. I felt it too. The air was heavy, oppressive. The shadows in the corners of my vision seemed to stretch and writhe when I wasn't looking directly at them. I started leaving the lights on all the time, but the darkness just seemed to retreat into the cupboards, under the bed, waiting. I tried everything. I burned sage until the smoke alarm shrieked. I lined my windows and doors with salt. I even had a priest come and bless the apartment. He was a kind, elderly man with gentle eyes, but even he seemed unnerved. As he was leaving, he placed a hand on my shoulder and said, Some places hold on to things, and sometimes they hold on to people." He wouldn't elaborate, just gave me a sad, pitying look, and left. Nothing he did worked. That night, I found the salt lines broken with a single childlike handprint in the middle of the spillage on the floor. Sleep became a luxury I couldn't afford. The nightmares were relentless. I dream of a tall, gaunt figure, its limbs too long, its face a blur of shadow. It would stand in the corner of my room, just watching me. I would try to scream, but no sound would come out. I'd wake up drenched in sweat, gasping for air. The image of that figure burned into my retinas. The worst part was, some mornings, I'd find a new scratch on the wooden floor in the corner where the figure had stood in my dream. I decided I had to leave. I couldn't live like this anymore. I packed a single bag, just the essentials, my hands trembling so hard I could barely zip it shut. I didn't care about my furniture, my clothes, my life's belongings. I just wanted out. I planned to leave in the morning as soon as the sun was up. I thought I could make it through one more night. I was wrong. That night was different. The scratching from the wall stopped. The whispers ceased. The air, for the first time in weeks, felt still. There was an unnerving silence, a quiet that was louder than any noise I had heard before. It was the silence of anticipation, the silence of a predator that has stopped stalking and is about to pounce. I sat on my couch wrapped in a blanket staring at the front door. I kept the main light on, my packed bag at my feet. I was determined to stay awake until sunrise. Minutes stretched into hours. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. My eyelids grew heavy. The exhaustion was a physical weight pressing down on me. I must have dozed off just for a second. I was woken by a click. It was the sound of the lock on my bedroom door, the door I always left open. I stared at it, my heart pounding a frantic rhythm against my chest. The door was closed. Slowly, very slowly, the doorknob began to turn. It wasn't a quick, human turn. It was a slow, deliberate creaking rotation, the metal groaning in protest. I was paralyzed. Every instinct screamed at me to run, to get out, to smash a window and jump. But I couldn't move. My body was a leaden weight, pinned to the couch by pure, unadulterated terror. The door swung open with a soft, final groan, and there it was. It wasn't a dream this time. The figure, tall, skeletal, its joints popping and clicking as it unfolded itself from the doorway. It was taller than the frame, its head bent at an unnatural angle to fit. I couldn't see its face, just a dark, shifting void where a face should be. But I could feel it looking at me. I could feel its ancient, malevolent hunger. It took a step into the room, its long, spindly limbs moving with a horrifying, jerky grace. It didn't make a sound as it moved across the floor. No footsteps, just the slick, wet sound of its joints popping. It stopped in the center of the room, between me and the front door. My escape route was cut off. It tilted its head, a gesture that might have seemed curious on anything else. On this thing, it was a threat. A low hiss like a deflating tire escaped from the void of its face. And then, it spoke. It used the same voice from the audio recording, that same guttural whisper. But it was clearer now, filling the room, filling my head. It said, "You can't leave, Alex. You're home." It raised a long, claw-like hand and pointed, not at me but at the wall behind me. I didn't want to look. I swear I didn't. But my head turned as if pulled by a string. On the wall, where my favorite painting used to hang, were words, scratched deep into the plaster, raw and angry. "We are a family." My blood ran cold. I finally understood. The scratching in the walls. It wasn't trying to get in. It was already in. It was part of the apartment. And now, it wanted me to be a part of it too. The figure took another step, then another. It was almost upon me. I finally found my voice and I screamed. A raw, ragged sound torn from the depths of my soul. I'm recording this now from, I don't know where. A closet. It's dark. I managed to bolt in here when it got distracted by my scream. I can hear it outside. It's not scratching anymore. It's calling my name, over and over, in that terrible whisper. "Alex, come out and play, Alex." Sometimes the voice changes. It sounds like a woman, sometimes a child. "We miss you, Alex. We're a family." My phone battery is at 2%. The scratching on the closet door has just started. It's not the frantic scratching of an animal. It's slow, deliberate. The sound of a single sharp nail drawing a line in the wood. A long, patient line. It's spelling something. I can hear the wood splintering. I think it's spelling my name. It knows I'm in here. There's nowhere left to run. This place holds on to things. And now, it's holding on to me. Please, if you're watching this, don't ever ignore that feeling. That feeling that you're being watched. Don't make the same mistake I did. The scratching is getting louder. Oh God, it's coming through the door. Thanks for sticking with me through that. I hope it gave you a good chill. If you enjoy stories that get under your skin, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more tales from the dark. Stay safe out there, and always check your locks. You never know who or what might be listening. See you next time.